Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Jen here, hope you're all doing well. I am doing fantastic because I get to talk about my first impressions with the demo of the DioField Chronicle. Now a few things I want to kind of go over before I get into the meat of the first impressions. There will be timestamps down below, so if there's something you're looking at in particular, then go ahead and listen away. But I do want to shout out Square Enix for providing me an early copy of the demo, which you guys can play tomorrow. At the time of this video going up. Just want to shout out Square Enix for letting me have the time to play it and get these impressions out before it goes live, which is awesome. Also, it's one of those demos which I love, that Square Enix are just hitting these out the park with these demos, where you can play the first 2 chapters of the game and your progress will continue to the full game. And the full game obviously comes out September 22nd. So it's a no-brainer in trying it out. That's just that out of the way. So let's get straight into talking about the DioField Chronicle. Now, the DioField Chronicle is an all-new strategy RPG from Square Enix that chronicles an epic tale of war and honor. It features a unique world depicted using beautiful graphics that blends fantasy, medieval and modern day influences, and a deep yet innovative real-time battle system. We'll be going into that detail in just a little bit, but the battles in this game are definitely defined by swift assessment of the battlefield conditions and issuing decisive orders that take advantage of your troops' strengths and weaknesses to gain an advantage over your foe. You make clever use of a variety of skills, classes, and equipment to attack the enemy and complete your mission. The natural environment and cultures of the island of the DioField combine with unique diorama style textures to create a clear and beautiful visual aesthetic. And honestly, these battlefields look fantastic. You'll see it in the B-roll as it's rolling now. So there you go, we've got an overview. Let's go straight into my thoughts. So I think it's important, I'm going to want to get the least important things to me out the way first. And I'm going to talk about the graphics. Now the graphics could be hit and miss for a few people. To me personally, it doesn't really bother me, but you get this kind of like, it kind of reminds me of Bravely Default if I was to kind of compare it to a game that I played recently, Bravely Default 2 in particular. Just taller and more lifelike kind of characters. Nothing to kind of like jaw drop at when you have these cutscenes, but I really do like these kind of like hand-drawn overviews. I'll have it playing in the B-roll for you guys, you've probably seen. These are beautiful and well narrated and kind of get you into the story. We'll go into that in just a second. Obviously no spoilers, it's going to touch on it very slightly, but yeah, it's kind of a mix. The most impressive thing to me is the diorama style textures on these battlefields. They look awesome. It kind of reminds me of the way that Fantasian was built if you've played that on the Apple Arcade, from the OG creator Final Fantasy himself. Beautiful diorama styles that you rotate around and you just kind of appreciate the detail that's gone into these battlefields. I had a lot of fun kind of just rotating the battlefield and kind of looking at all the nooks and crannies in these maps. I feel like that's where the graphical style kind of shines. Doesn't shine so much when in the cutscenes and the characters, but it is nice nonetheless. So I want to move on to the story. Briefly touched on it with the kind of hand-drawn cutscenes. Now the story hasn't got me invested yet, but again, these cutscenes, not really like the character modeled cutscenes like the in-game cutscenes. It's more of the hand-drawn cutscenes that kind of draw me in just because of how beautiful they look. When it comes to voice acting, again, voice acting is just like on par, really nice voice acting for all the characters that I've experienced so far. No complaints there. But again, the story has yet to kind of hook me in. I'm just along for the ride at the moment, and it's really the gameplay, which we're going to go into in just a second, that's been the main draw for me. I'm going to touch on music. Music is just awesome. I've got no complaints about the music. It's definitely music you're going to add to a playlist, let me put it that way. Let's move on to the main thing I want to talk about, the game, and I guess this is where the game shines. In the gameplay. Now this is real-time tactics, so don't think of like your triangle strategy, Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, and all of those tactic games. This is more of like the battlefield is moving, but you can pause it whenever you want, kind of pick your commands, and the way it kind of just like, it's so smooth. Like that's the thing that got me the most, of how smooth this battle system is and how these battles kind of come into play with the destructible environments here and there, a few barrels that you can explode to kind of time it right. It's so satisfying. I'm going to show it now as I'm saying it. but I had these like zombies coming towards me, or they might have just been soldiers. I waited for them to get into the vicinity of this barrel. I aimed for the barrel. The barrel obviously doesn't explode straight away, it kind of counts down, but it was timed perfectly and it took out like 5 enemies. Things like that are highly satisfying when you've got that strategy in, and that's again where it shines. The gameplay is where it's at. If you're liking kind of your strategy RPGs and want something a bit more free-flowing, a bit more faster, because you can adjust the speed on this as well if you're feeling confident in your abilities, this is definitely something to kind of invest a little bit of time in. Obviously the demo is out tomorrow and you get to try it out for yourselves, but take it from me, look at the gameplay that I'm showing and just see that this is really smooth gameplay. Obviously you have all the classes, equipment that you can kind of equip in your home base. It looks like this home base is going to kind of evolve over time. More things are going to unlock. Maybe we can unlock decorations. I like little things like that where it kind of shows you that you did a certain battle or a certain side quest and you've got like a, I don't know, like a sword on the wall or something like that to represent that you won this battle. I'm hoping that that's the direction it goes in. It's pretty bare bones in the mansion base at the moment, but you kind of go around. This is where you kind of buy your weapons, you kind of upgrade your skills, and obviously you have the 4 class types which really come into play once you unlock like 1 character of each of those classes, because you start off with just 2 and then you get a 3rd one and etc. That's really where you can get your thinking on and try and come up with some awesome tactics. And that's the most satisfying thing about it. I don't want to kind of sound like a broken record, kind of boasting all these things that I've done and then just saying this is where it shines, but take my word for it. There's also summons in the game, and I'm going to show you a clip of Bahamut if I haven't shown it already. But Bahamut is here and he's looking awesome, and he definitely decimates the battlefield. Can definitely turn the tide of battle just like that. But there's a lot of things that can turn the tide of battle, and I think that's where it's going to really do well and kind of again hook people in. I think the gameplay and just people smashing through these kind of battles, making sure that they check off all the requirements of the battle. Like there's one for not taking any damage, there's one for not losing any of your allies, defeating the battle within a number of minutes. So the challenge is there. You don't have to knock all ticks on all of the objectives, but if you really want to, then it's there for you. Again, these are my first impressions. Whether the game continues like this, and obviously as you get more players, more characters you recruit, you upgrade your weapons, your skills, get more summons, I can only think that it's going to get better and better. So with my time with this demo, I think I'm definitely going to invest in the game and continue my strategic venture in the DioField Chronicle. So there you have it, guys. I think I might have wallowed on about the gameplay a little bit, but again, I think that's the main meat of the game. I think that's where you're going to have the most fun. Ignore the graphics, the music's fantastic, the story is meh for me at the moment, but the gameplay has got me, and this is definitely a winner for me. Is it a winner for you? Let me know if you're excited about it. If you've already played the demo and you've come over here to see someone else's thoughts of it, let me know in the comment section below. If you're excited, if you like it, you're going to invest in the full version, let me know in the comment section below. Again, thanks to Square Enix for allowing me to have this demo a little bit early so I can get some thoughts together. And that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to stick around for more content from me, please hit the subscribe button. It helps out me and the channel. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.